Today's video, I'm just gonna give you a little review about the V4R, show you some of the parts that I already put on, some of the parts that are coming like very soon, and also I'm gonna be doing a Q&A. What's your next bike? My goals for 2022. I actually got hit by someone in that group ride. What are my 3 most proud achievements of this year? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, back with another video for you guys. This is the last video of 2021. It's been an amazing year, and I can't thank you guys enough for blowing up the channel and all that stuff. I started making YouTube videos about a year ago. I kind of started like a little bit before buying the H2, but like kind of just for fun. I just wanted to make a video, you know, for whatever reasons. It got like not even 100 views, stuff like that. And then when I got the H2, I kind of wanted to make more content about it because I didn't think there was as much kind of like daily writing H2 videos. Also wasn't taking it seriously, like maybe one video every 2 months or something like that. But mid 2021, May, June, that's when I started posting a lot. And in June, I decided that I'm gonna be posting 5 times a week consistently for the rest of the year. I'm excited to say this is the last video of this year, and I have accomplished that. 5 videos every single week for half a year. I think that's a lot of videos, okay guys, especially for motovlogging. I don't know if there's any other motovloggers that have done that before. That's a lot of videos, you know, like it's not just about making the videos, it's about like coming up with the ideas for the videos and stuff like that. I'm trying to be creative, you know. I have a lot of ideas coming up also for next year. And yeah, let's just say next year is gonna be really exciting. I have a lot of great plans, but for today's video, I'm just gonna give you a little review about the V4R, show you some of the parts that I already put on, some of the parts that are coming like very soon, and also I'm gonna be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys on my Instagram, if you're not following my Instagram, please do, at @amk. I did a Q&A over there, and I'm gonna be also answering some of the questions that you guys have asked me to end this year pretty much. But let's get started with the video. Let me show you the V4R. You guys saw in the last video that we put this beautiful swing arm cover. We also added these red stripes. I already bought this part a while back. You guys probably have seen it. But I added these red stripes on it, kind of to go with the front face of the bike. And my favorite new parts, this beautiful tailpiece with a custom V4R with these kind of like vents, gills, whatever you want to call them. And it's also custom piece. These are definitely like my favorite pieces. I've been waiting for them for a while now because I told you guys I'm a little OCD and I didn't like the front of the bike was carbon fiber and the tail was like red with white stripes, so I kind of didn't go. But now, I mean, look at her. The bike looks way better. The last part that I recently added that only people on Instagram that have seen, that's why I'm telling you to follow me there, is this piece right here. It's a carbon fiber kind of like key ignition cover. It was actually a pain in the ass to get put on because of these bolts. It's a very weird kind of like system, and I had to adjust the fitment slightly, but you know, carbon fiber, when you tend to put a lot of aftermarket parts, you are gonna have some fitment issues that you're gonna have to kind of like work around. So did that, put this part on, and now let me talk about some of the parts that are like literally in transit. They're being delivered to me right now. Starting with, I have the alternator cover. So this whole piece, all of this right here is gonna be carbon fiber, glossy. You guys already saw that I put this Ducati Performance piece right here. I have this piece also matching this matte carbon coming very soon right here. This piece is gonna be glossy because I want it to pop more. I have front sprocket cover coming in carbon. And I also have dash cover like right here that goes around it, coming in glossy carbon too. I think that one's gonna look cool because, you know, when you're riding right here, this is what you look at, and I think, you know, this in the sun will look cool. On this side, I am not sure about when my clutch cover is coming in. They did contact me because I placed the order twice, because the first time I placed it, they didn't send me a confirmation or anything, so I did it again. And then they contacted me, they're like, oh, did you place an order twice? And I was like, no, I wanted to do one, but when I placed the first one, I thought it didn't go through because I never got a confirmation or anything. And they're like, okay, we're gonna remove one, and that was it. I still haven't gotten anything back from them. It's a very unique looking clutch cover that I really wanted to get that specific one. So I got it all the way from like the UK, and a lot of my parts are from all over the world. Some parts are literally coming from Greece, from Germany, from Italy, from literally all over the world, because I want to build a super unique bike, and it's coming along nicely so far. But yeah, so I'm not sure when the clutch cover is coming in, but I do have really exciting news for you guys, because the exhaust is coming in next week, you guys. The first week of January, that's when the exhaust is supposed to be delivered. I am super excited for that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are really excited for that too, but it's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait for the bike to finally have an exhaust. As soon as I get an exhaust, I already got my Sprint PO8 F1 air filter, which is kind of like the most racy air filter to make the most power possible on this bike. I already have it here, but obviously I'm waiting for the exhaust so I can go put the exhaust on, put the air filter on, and tune it all together. A lot of major stuff. I have little things here and here like titanium bolts and an titanium oil cap, stuff like that. Little things here and there that are coming also. So far, coming along really nicely, and I'm very excited to see it in this condition. I already have some reservoirs and some titanium and carbon parts there, but I'm waiting for the rest so I can put them on all together for you guys to see. Now we're gonna get to the Q&A. All right, so the first question we have is, will you ever want to get a bike that is not a race bike? Honestly, I don't think so. I'm kind of still young, you know what I mean? So I can't say for sure. Like, I love everything about these bikes, and I don't know if I'm just being a little immature, but I am also a huge car guy. I love cars. I actually started this automotive kind of obsession with cars, and then I got introduced to bikes kind of by myself. I got myself into bikes. I just wanted a bike for the hell of it, which is another question actually that I have. What was your first bike? It's a Ninja 300. It's like 2014 Ninja 300. I had that bike for like 2 weeks or something like that, and then I switched to a Ninja ZX6R, brand new from the dealership. So yeah, these are kind of like my first bikes I started with. That was another question, but let's get back to that one. So yeah, I'm 23 years old, you guys. Turning 24 in 2022 in March, actually. I think someone asked me about my birthday too. So yeah, I'm turning 24 in March, pretty young. I really like exotic. You know how people like exotic cars, right? Like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all that stuff. That's pretty much me with these vehicles. You know, these are like the Ferrari and the Lamborghini and the hypercars, you know? So I'm very obsessed with this kind of stuff. Not really a big fan of the other type of bikes. Are like, I do appreciate them and like them, it's just not my style, if that makes sense. But as I was saying, I'm pretty young, so I don't know if that's going to change in the future or anything like that. But I mentioned that I'm a car guy because in my opinion, if I wanted a bike that's like comfortable or, you know, easy to ride or better for cruising, I would honestly just go for a car, you know. I like cars. I tried making some car videos for you guys, but you guys are not a fan of those. Maybe we'll try again in the future. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see some car content. But yeah, so I don't think anytime soon. These are the bikes that I really enjoy, and I have tried riding other bikes, and I get why they're kind of like better for the street and all the fun stuff about them, but it's just not my style. But yeah, that's the first question. Well, that I answered 2 other questions in. Let's go for another question, and that question, a lot of you guys asked me this, by the way. What's your next bike? Are you considering an S1000RR? What about an M1000RR? S1000 versus M1000RR? I've talked about the BMWs, and I think you guys are asking me about this because there's a lot of BMW fans, and I get it. It's an amazing bike. I could argue it's one of the like best daily motorcycle. It's a very comfortable bike. It's super smooth. It's a little more on the pricey side because you know, it's German, maintenance, upgrades, stuff like that. But it is an amazing bike for the value. It's not like kind of super overpriced like the Ducatis, you know. They're amazing bikes. There's not like much to not like about them, you know what I mean? They're amazing value, really great, and I almost got an S1000 M package before getting my V4R. For the people that watch these videos, you saw I went to the dealership, I tried getting it, some complications happened, and it just not meant to be, didn't happen. Ended up with a better bike, in my opinion. But for all the people that are asking what my next bike is, number one on my list is an M1000RR. It's too hard to get because it is more limited and stuff like that. I might go for an S1000RR M package, but definitely what I want is an M1000RR. That's first choice. Second choice is actually a Honda RRR Fireblade, you know, the new Fireblade. I think it's really cool. It's a very fast bike, very unique. You know, I like Japanese bikes. Sorry, what can I say? But I do think it's a little overpriced because at the end of the day, it is a Honda. So I don't know if I would want to pay that much for it, but that is my second option. And I think tying the Honda Fireblade RRR would be the Aprilia RSV4 1100 factory, the new Aprilias. I'm not a huge fan of the look of the new ones, to be honest. They look cool, but something about the wings makes it look, I don't know, like a praying mantis or something like that. It looks a little weird, let's just say that. So it does look, the tail side looks amazing, the headlights looks really cool, but it's also somewhat very similar to the RS660, which I don't like. I don't like when bike manufacturers make their 600 and liter bikes very, very similar. But it's still an option because it's a very fast bike. It's one of the best sounding bikes. So yeah, to answer your question, definitely considering an BMW S1000 and 1000RR. Most likely, hopefully an M1000RR. I just got this bike like, what, a month ago, you guys? So I need a little break, you know? I'm not even done building it. We need to build this bike, we need to film content with this bike. And when we rack up some miles on it, that's when it's time to hopefully get a new bike. There was a question asking about like my goals for 2022. Honestly, I'm a kind of like live in the moment type of guy. So I don't have like, I don't know, what can I say? Like specific plans, because I don't want to like, I like setting goals, but I also kind of like don't want to put that much pressure on it. You know, I kind of just go with the flow, keep grinding, keep hustling, and whatever happens, happens. Hopefully, I mean, ideally, I would like to hit 1 million subscribers in 2022. That is a very, very big goal. If you ask me, I would be very happy with 500,000 subscribers. I think we broke 200K, guys. Also, thank you so very much for breaking 200K. It is a little crazy because my goal, literally the start of this year, was to get to like 10K. And we crushed that, and then my goal was like 100K, and we crushed that, and then 150, and we crushed that, and we got to 200. So it's just like we broke a lot of goals in this year. If I'm aiming really high, I would love to hit 1 million subs, and I'm gonna work really extra hard to get there, hopefully. And but if that doesn't happen, I would be very happy with 500,000 too. Kind of like my main focuses, main goals for next year, literally just focusing on YouTube and growing the community. Because I don't know, I've always liked filming, and I'm obsessed with riding on these bikes, and you guys like that too. So, you know, it works well together. Ooh, somebody asked me what are my 3 most proud achievements, I believe, of this year. I gotta say the first one was buying the Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Some of the OGs might remember that car. I got it in January of this year. Where I live, cops are somewhat strict about exhaust laws and stuff like that, and that car is really fast, and it's hard to not get in trouble in that car. So I actually ended up selling it after like half a year or like 7 months. Back after my accident when I crashed the V4S, the full carbon V4S, rest in peace. I didn't want to get in more trouble and stuff like that, so I ended up selling the Hellcat and got my Tesla Model 3 Performance, which I absolutely love. It's the best daily car you can ever have, and that's coming from a guy that had a Hellcat before. So it's like, that's a big thing to say about Teslas. Definitely that, because that was kind of like the first dream car that I got. The second one was definitely buying the full carbon fiber V4S. That bike was amazing. I really liked it. Sad to see it go in such a short time, but you know, everything happens for a reason. We ended up upgrading to a V4R. Obviously, this one also is one of my proudest achievements. Last but not least, YouTube. Like, that's definitely a big achievement. When I got the 100K plaque, I made a video about that. I was kind of like blown away. It was very unreal. Something about these like prizes that you get from YouTube makes it like way more real, because sometimes like you look at the numbers and it doesn't add up, you know. You can't really believe that 100,000 people are like watching your stuff or are interested in what you do and stuff like that. So, you know, when you get that plaque, it kind of like sets in a lot more, and you're like presented to MK, and you're like, whoa, all right, YouTube. So yeah, that's definitely my third, and I would say like biggest achievement of the year. So getting one of my dream cars, getting one of my dream bikes, well, the V4S and this one. The V4S wasn't as much of a dream bike, I'm not gonna lie. This definitely was. I was always obsessed with the V4R. And finally, YouTube. All right, I went to look at some of the questions that you guys asked me, and I chose a few of them. One of them being asking about merch. Would I be doing any type of merch or stuff like that for 2022? And honestly, I like apparel. I like, you know, nice clothes and stuff like that. And I mean, I've always thought about it. I just don't think my YouTube is at that level. I kind of just want to focus on growing the channel itself and kind of like getting up there. Maybe if we get to 500,000 subs, or preferably 1 million subs, that's when I'm planning on actually like doing some sort of merch and stuff like that, because I really want to put a lot of thought into it and actually full on do it, not just get some random t-shirts and put some like stickers and stuff like that on it. You know what I mean? I want like something that's really cool and something that's different. So definitely in the future, I don't know if it's going to be in 2022. It really depends on how the channel grows and how well yeah, like YouTube performs and all that stuff. So, but hopefully, I don't know, you never know, we will find out, I guess, in the future. Ooh, what is your favorite bike to ride of all time? Actually, it was, what is your favorite bike of all time? So favorite bike to ride of all time probably would be the R1M. As I've said in many of my videos, it's just like a perfect mixture of, you know, fun, aggressive, but at the same time like smooth and reliable, and somewhat easy to ride when you get used to it. The H2 is just crazy overkill, and the V4R is kind of like, I don't know, like it's an art piece, you know? It's race designed motorcycle with a shit ton of expensive parts, just casually all the time, you know what I mean? It just doesn't feel right. Yeah, so this is like the pretty art piece. This is the race limited crazy bike that's just overkill, but this is kind of like a good middle. So like my favorite bike to ride would be the R1M. My favorite bike of all time probably is the Ninja H2. The V4R is like it's right there. You know, if the H2 is a 10 out of 10, the V4 is a 9.9 out of 10. They're both very different but very amazing at the same time. But I gotta stick to my roots, guys. The H2 is and has been my dream bike for a very long time. So that's my favorite bike of all time for numerous reasons, from the way it looks, from the way it sounds, from the speed, just everything about the bike, what it stands for. Is just, I'm obsessed with that bike. And so yeah, that is my all-time favorite dream bike. But as I said, my favorite bike to ride would be the R1M. Favorite looking bike? This masterpiece right here. Ooh, what is the worst thing that happened to you in a bike meet? I would say that just in these videos that you guys saw this week, this last big group ride where I took the R1M. Remember how I told you guys that I don't want to take these two bikes because they're very like expensive and limited and all that stuff, and I don't trust other riders. I actually got hit by someone in that group ride. Yep, somebody hit my R1M, but luckily it wasn't anything bad. So we were right before we get to the end spot. My GoPro was dead, that's why I couldn't make a video about it and all that stuff. But right before getting to that end spot, at the end of that ride, there was one of these, I don't know what you call them. They're kind of like, you guys know the cop bikes? They're kind of like, I don't know, like off-road looking bikes for the street. I don't know, the GS or something like that. So that guy was actually in front of me and we were splitting lanes, and it's slightly a bigger bike. He could have passed, but we were splitting lanes and he seemed like somewhat of a newer rider, so he was kind of like not splitting lanes normally. All of a sudden, like it was wide open and I thought we're just going through, and all of a sudden I guess he freaked out and he slammed on his brakes. I had a safe distance, or you know, I was just prepared, you know, like that's why I don't also trust these rides, because you always have to be kind of like on your A game, because you know, if something messes up, you don't want to crash into someone. So I was prepared for it. I braked just in time, didn't even like touch him or came close to that. But the bike behind me, it was some sort of like yellow R6 or something like that, actually slammed into the back of my R1M, and like it slammed it pretty hard. Like I think if I wasn't kind of like on the handlebars and I was already like tensed up, if I was just sitting casually, I probably like would have, I don't know, could have been like fell off the bike or came close to that, or maybe tapped one of the cars that are next to me, because you know he hit me pretty hard, and like the whole bike like skidded forward, and I just kind of like braked again to not hit the bike in front of me. But yeah, he slammed into it pretty hard. I mean, it's, you guys saw, there's like over 500 bikes, so there's no way I'm gonna go up to him and be like, yo, what the hell, why were you like so close? You know, I just kind of like let it go. I'm like, I did expect shit like that to happen, so that's why I don't want to take these bikes. But luckily nothing like really bad happened. The guy in front of me wasn't as experienced, so like it was kind of his fault, but also the guy behind me probably was following up too close or just didn't pay attention. That's why he slammed into me. But luckily he just hit the rear tire. I think there's like a couple like light scuffs that ended up just coming out on the, it's not on the carbon or anything like that, but like the tailpiece itself, there's like kind of plastic around it, and it was just like a little bit of a, you know, not even a scratch, it was just kind of like a little scuff that like I literally like cleaned up and you can't even tell it's there anymore. So, you know, mistakes happen. I didn't worry too much about it, but yeah, I think that was my worst experience ever in a meet, because nobody has like hit me or something like that before. I saw it coming. That's why I don't like going to these like super massive meets. I like hosting smaller meets. That also leads me to another question that actually I remember reading that I'm gonna answer. I think it was like your favorite like ride or something like that you went on this year. And I gotta say, it's my V4R reveal video. That was amazing. I had such a good time. It was a surprise for everyone. I don't think like anybody, like maybe 2 or 3 people knew that I got this bike at that time. I kept it a surprise for like about a week. I didn't tell anyone, didn't even tell you guys. Yeah, I was still in that week teasing like a BMW, Ducati, I'm still choosing, blah, blah, blah. And revealed it in my bike meet. Everyone was super nice, super excited. It was amazing meeting everyone. Then we did a little cruise, went to eat. And then, yeah, it was great meeting everyone. It was like fun seeing that I organized such a thing. It was such a fun event, nice music, great people. So yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite kind of like memories of this year. It's just, I've never kind of like hosted or organized something like as big, and as, you know, everything went smoothly, no one got hurt, no one, you know, went down, no cops, everything was like smooth and nice, and everyone had a good time. And it was a really successful bike reveal. So yeah, that was I think like one of my favorite moments, like riding wise, in this year. This should end this Q&A. I can't think of anything that stuck with me. Like there's so many questions you guys. I kind of just like scrolled through, read like skimmed through like some of them, and I chose the ones that are kind of like, you know, like good questions, or the ones that kind of stuck in my head, because as you get, I'm filming with my phone, so I kind of get to memorize all of these. And that's pretty much it for the Q&A. Again, Happy New Year's to everyone, and if you did make it till the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you again for all the support. Like I honestly can't keep saying thank you. I say it like a million times, but like I'm very appreciative of everyone supporting the channel and like coming through this crazy journey with me. And hopefully to better and bigger things in 2022. I have a lot of exciting content for you guys. As I said, the exhaust is coming next week, so we're gonna start this year strong. We have a few group rides. We're gonna do a New Year's ride, so yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Thank you again so much for this year. If you did enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe. Road to hopefully 1 million, right? Yeah, Happy New Year's everyone. Peace out, ride safe, and never give up.